As you walk up to the Mickelson Library, you can offer your tour some background information on this beautiful building. Some years ago, Augustana received an anonymous donation of $6 million to completely remodel the library. Using a lot of the old materials from the old building, we built a brand new, beautiful facility. All that the secret donators asked in return was that a plaque be put up with the words Soli Deo Gloria, which is Latin for "to God only be the glory." Once inside, you can talk to your tour about the large number of students and faculty that utilize this space. The library is 3 stories, so there is plenty of room for lots of people to utilize the library resources. Be sure to mention that the library has great hours. They open early in the morning and they don't close until midnight. We have wonderful library on staff in the Mickelson that are constantly available to students who need to find resources, use the online database, check out a library loan, and so much more. They even offer snacks and coffee during finals week. We have computers available to students all over campus with a special online drive so students can save and access their work from almost anywhere on campus. Students certainly do not need to have a laptop to get the resources that they need to be successful in their classes. You can mention all of the different study spaces available to students in our library. We have comfy chairs for reading, large tables to spread your work out, study carrels for those who need isolation when they study, and even diner-style booths for comfort and space. We even have a section of books written by our very own Augustana professors. It's nice to take your tours upstairs because the glass offers a really nice view of the campus. The Mickelson Library houses thousands of books and is also open to members of the Sioux Falls community who have a valid library card. One of the best aspects of the Mickelson Library are the many study rooms available to students throughout the week. These rooms can be checked out for 3 hours at a time and are great for group work or study sessions. The rooms also have a computer to TV hookup so that students can hook up their laptops and view their work from the big screen. Some other interesting features of the Mickelson Library include a media lab where students can make and edit DVD presentations for their classes. We have a full section of DVDs so students don't have to go off campus to rent movies, and we have a huge online database of articles and journals for student research. Mention to your tours that one thing that is really nice about our library is that it is not only a great place to study, but a great place to see and work with friends.
Hi, my name is Jan Brew Enbright, and I am the Circulation Reference Librarian here at the Mickelson Library.
So, okay, tell us about a typical week in the library, just relative to the hours and when you see maybe the busiest traffic.
Okay. Well, during the school year, we're open almost 100 hours a week. We're open from 7:30 in the morning until midnight on Monday through Thursday. Fridays we close at 6. Saturdays we're open 9 to 5, and then Sundays we open at 11 in the morning, but we're open until midnight. And I would say we're probably busiest with students evenings and weekends, and Sundays in particular, and that's why we expanded our hours. During finals, we add hours. We're open until 1 o'clock in the morning for a couple of weeks. And then the week of finals, we open at 7 in the morning. That's so people have that little extra time before a class to print something or get that last little bit of studying in.
Okay. So speaking of finals and midterms and those really, high stress situations, are there special things that the library does in addition to expanding the hours?
A couple of things that we really have fun with is that during finals in both spring and fall, our Friends of the Library group, called the Library Associates, sponsors treats in the evening. So every evening we serve either coffee or hot chocolate or lemonade in the warm weather and granola bars. And that's really popular for a few hours. And then last year we started doing pet therapy during finals. And Judith Schreck, who teaches in the music department, brings one of her 2 therapy dogs for the evening, and students can sign up for a time, and they go into a back room and they have a few minutes either with friends or by themselves to just pet a really big dog who is there just to make them feel relaxed and happy. And it's been great to see people walk in with their shoulders up and stressed out about finals, and then they walk out just smiling because they've had this beautiful dog to spend time with. So we're planning to do pet therapy again this year.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about the rest of the staff, and kind of maybe some of the specific titles and maybe in layman terms what those people do.
Okay, great. We have 12 full-time staff people here, and 6 of us have master's degrees in library science, so we're considered librarians, and the other 6 are staff people who support the work of the library. So you don't know when you walk in if people are librarians or staff, but we all share the work of the library. In addition, we have about 35 student workers who work on the average about 8 hours a week. So those students are trained to do lots of general things, but then are assigned to specific departments. Because we're open so many hours a week, there's a lot of weeks that people don't see each other because we're coming and going. The evening person and the morning person maybe overlap by just a couple of hours. Another thing that we're very proud of at the Augie Library is that we are always staffed by a full-time staff person. We're not run by students in the evening or on weekends like some other colleges down the street that I could name. So it is important if you need a professional to help you, someone that's going to be available and maybe answer questions even outside of library questions like, I want to go to a play and where is, I heard there was a play on campus, where is it? Or I need some help from campus safety. We're there to help those people in those after-hours situations as well.
How about in terms of, maybe the more academic or library-specific questions that you get? What are some of the more common things that you help students with on a daily basis?
We often help students who are starting a research project, and sometimes what we help them do is brainstorm, think of what they're interested in, what they'd like to learn more about. We do a lot of work with citations where we help people figure out how they can get their footnotes and their bibliography in good shape. We also help students with technology issues if they're having trouble printing, or they aren't getting Moodle to work, or they want to be sure that they can get this PowerPoint to look good. We do lots of hands-on things and help students kind of make the best use of their time. And what we tell students when they come in is that we're always glad to answer those questions, and please don't feel like you're interrupting us or you're wasting our time, because really we just hope that students will ask for that kind of help. If we're sitting at the front desk or if I'm in my office, that's what we're here for. And sometimes it's just getting that one piece of information that can help you get going on a project or answer a question. A lot of the questions are things like, do you have this particular book? Could you find this book for me someplace else? There's a magazine article I want to read, but I'm not sure. Do you have it in print or is it in a database? We answer those questions all the time, and we're happy to help students with that. And a lot of times, once a student has been through that process, then they feel like they can succeed in other areas as well. They become a little more self-sufficient because they've had a chance to see it done with someone else, and then they can kind of go on from there. So that's a real satisfying thing.
Yep. The library obviously is changed in in the past several years, and so the study rooms upstairs, I would imagine, are pretty popular. How much do those get used, and what do students typically use those for?
They are very, very popular. They have to be scheduled during the school year, and people can sign up for 3-hour blocks of time. And you can reserve those for either the current day or the following day. What's great about that is that there's some students that reserve it so they can just be by themselves in there and just be guaranteed of a quiet place to study. There's others that a group might reserve it and they will watch a film together for a history class, or they will work on a project together where they can project on the flat screen television a spreadsheet or a PowerPoint or a website. And so we see lots of collaboration happening in there. And they are extremely popular. We have 11 of them altogether. And during the day, it's more likely that you would be able to, just get one right away. But once 6 o'clock hits until midnight, they are busy from the first day of the semester on. They are very, very popular, and they're nice. I mean, they're a nice place to study or to talk to someone and feel like you're not interrupting others.
Okay. I know the library does some other things in terms of programming, whether it's speakers or just other events, maybe seminars or learning opportunities for students. Can you give some examples of those
I mentioned the Library Associates, our friends at the library group, and they're a group that supports the programming of the library. So we have three main events hosted by them. In the fall, we have a speaker who comes this year. Rick Steves, the travel writer, is going to be our speaker, hosted by the Library Associates. The other big event we do is A Winter's Tale, which is at the end. It's always during interim break, and it's an evening of poetry and music and some nice food and things like that, and that's held at the library. And then the other event that I think is really popular with students and staff is the book sale. And that is what all year long we take donated books, DVDs, CDs, and other materials from all over town. All kinds of people donate those things to us. We sort through them, make sure we keep just the best of the best. We sort them by categories. And then for a day and a half in April in the Center for Western Studies, we have our annual book sale. And everything costs either 50 cents or $1. And that's really a popular time to do your Christmas shopping, get something for your mom, get something for yourself. We have people that walk out with bags and bags of books that have cost them maybe $25, and they are very happy about that. I love the book sale. It's a big, busy time, but it's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to recycle.
All right. Can you talk a little bit more about media services in the basement and some of the services that they provide to students? Yeah,
Media Services is a very busy place. They provide some technology items. If you need a data projector for an event off campus, for example, you can check one out for Media Services. You need to reserve it ahead of time. They also do some kind of old school things like duplicating. If you need something that's moved from VHS tape to a DVD, they can do things like that at a cost. They do laminating, things like that. But they also are the real experts on poster printing. If you ever need a poster printed for a presentation or a class, they are the people that will do that and make sure it's done well. And they'll also teach you about video editing. Across the hall from Media Services in the Media Lab is a great place with gorgeous Apple computers where they will kind of get you started on video editing and help you with that. And that's been popular as students do more videos in place of papers and things like that for classes. So they are always busy. And Media Services supports both the faculty and students. And so there's lots of people coming and going, just getting help with technology and media. They also take care of the media collection downstairs. We have a nice collection of DVDs, many of them to support the education of the college, but a lot of popular DVDs too. So you might as well check one out from the library for free and have it for a week, then, go on to Netflix.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite place in the library?
I love the floor-to-ceiling windows on all 3 floors. When we renovated, they tore off this brick fire escape that nobody ever really noticed, and they put floor-to-ceiling windows. So especially on the top floor in the winter when it's, you've had a few too many days without much sun. If it's a sunny day and you go up there, you get a beautiful view of the campus. You can see the green and and the chapel and Madsen Center, and the soft chairs are there, and it's like a little mini vacation. So that's my favorite place.
Anything else that you would like our student ambassadors to know or highlight, when they pass through the library?
We're here to help. We'd never give grades. We just like to help, and we want to see our Augie students succeed. And so sometimes people come to college with a bad or a neutral experience with libraries, and we really want to change that. We really want them to feel like this is here for them, that we are open, approachable, non-judgmental, and that we want to help them succeed. So that's our drug.
All right. Great. Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome.
After you leave the library, you can head back to the administration building and wrap up your tour. Take this time to find out if your tour has any other questions that weren't clearly answered during their walk around campus. If you ever come across a question that you are unsure of the answer, tell your tour that you will ask an admission counselor or Melissa when you are back in the office. Always make sure that our visitors are getting the correct information. You can also take this time to talk about what offices are housed in the administration building: the admissions office, the business office, the development office, the Office of Financial Aid, and the Office of the President. Also, make sure to leave your tour with a great last impression. Shake their hands, tell them how much you enjoyed meeting them, and wish them luck with their school year. If your tour went particularly well, feel free to write the student a personal postcard afterwards.